A deadly virus that kills anyone who falls asleep is rapidly spreading across humanity. Survivors can only stay alive by constantly stimulating themselves to avoid sleep. At a late-night party, two people were arguing over something trivial when they accidentally bumped into their friend sitting on the couch. Without any support, their friend collapsed straight to the floor. When his companions found him lying there and saw no response after several attempts to wake him, Dave immediately rushed over to check on him, only to discover that his friend had stopped breathing entirely. He quickly began performing CPR while urging his friends to call for help. Strangely, no one was answering at the police station. Seeing that someone had died, Dave's other friends immediately made excuses and fled the scene. Dave had no choice but to run inside the house to find help from others, only to discover a couple lying quietly on the bed also having stopped breathing. Thinking it might be toxic gas poisoning, Dave covered his nose and mouth as he approached Matt, telling him that 3 of their friends had stopped breathing and that it might be caused by some kind of gas leak. He warned Matt that staying in the house any longer could be fatal. At Dave's suggestion, Matt reluctantly agreed to help. They loaded the 3 bodies into the car and rushed to the hospital, desperately seeking medical help for their friends. When they arrived, the hospital corridor was packed wall to wall with corpses. Despite the alarming situation, the 2 men didn't have time to think about it and immediately sought assistance. Dr. Anna immediately came out with her team to examine the bodies and quickly determined that the 3 friends were beyond saving. The bodies would have to remain in the car for now, as the hospital had experienced a massive number of mysterious deaths that night, leaving them severely short-staffed and under-equipped. They would have to wait for police to arrive before conducting a detailed investigation. With no other option, the 2 men anxiously waited in the lobby while unattended patients tried to rest with their eyes closed. What they didn't realize was that all emergency communications with the outside world had been cut off. Sensing trouble, the hospital director simply abandoned everyone and left Anna could only turn helplessly to a nurse who said she could stay and help but needed to rest after working all night. Little did she know that this sleep would be her last. Soon Dave was the first to notice something was wrong. He saw that the sleeping elderly man was now foaming at the mouth, clearly a sign of losing consciousness. He immediately got up and called for the man's family. But the next second, the woman also collapsed helplessly. Hearing the commotion, Anna rushed over to check. After witnessing such a dire situation, she quickly ran to the break room to wake up her colleagues for help, only to find that they had somehow lost their heartbeat as well. This bizarre situation left everyone completely at a loss.